Billed as the monster, Naoya Inoue's performance against Michael Desmarinas is sure to send shivers down any opponent's spine. Inoue blitzed Desmarinas, landing 65% of his punches, leading to 3 body shot knockdowns and stoppage victory in the 3rd round. Barack, are we witnessing another global superstar in boxing today?
Absolutely. Let's remember that Canelo became a superstar without learning English, though he came with a country behind him. Inoue has all the things that I've said before, the recipe of a superstar, the looks, the power, the speed, the technicality. He has it. He's an amazing fighter. He showed us again. He's fighting all of the top guys. Yes, I'd love to see him fight Donaire in a rematch, but yes, to answer your question, Ak, we got a superstar on our hands.
The only thing that I guess I would say, Barack, is Japan ready to embark on this boxing journey like Mexico has forever, as long as we can remember. We know that, there have been some pretty good Japanese fighters, but I'm not sure if 10,000 of them are going to fly to America to watch him fight. Now, we know that Canelo has a different type, and I'm only bringing him up because you used him as a reference, but I think he has what it takes to be a star as far as his ability and what he does in the ring and his looks, his style, but does he have the people to come follow him around the world? I think that's the determining question right there that needs to be answered.
That's a good question. We'll see if Japan jumps on board. He reminds me of somebody like Naseem Hamed, a small guy that packs a punch. Yes, he had the UK behind him, but in reality, at the end of the day, because he had so much character and he had so much power inside the ring, he didn't need the UK. He captured the love of the world, and that's something that Inoue could probably do because of his power. If he keeps stopping guys, if he actually even captures the undisputed title at bantamweight, you never know how far he can go in America.
And I've said this plenty times when talking about Inoue. What is impressive to me is the body attack, and we all saw that displayed, right? He wants to hurt you to the body. He never forgets about the body. There's been plenty of body punchers that sometimes they tend to headhunt. Sometimes they forget about what they're good at. He never forgets that. That's part of his arsenal, and he's going to continue to stop guys, hurt guys. Wear guys down early, and we saw that in this fight, man. I agree with you, Barack. Definitely a potential future global star.
Yeah, but he's better than that. He's really great because not only does he do that, not only does he have a wonderful body attack, head attack, uppercuts, but he's also concentrating on defense at the same time. He's in a stance where, like Floyd Mayweather used to do, where he has that right foot, on the ball of his foot. And so he's ready to go in and come out, but he still can release power and sit down on his punches, and also concentrate on defense at the same time. He's just spectacular. Another marquee fight in Houston, Texas with Jermall Charlo against Juan Montiel for the WBC Middleweight Championship. While Charlo earned a unanimous decision, the unheralded Montiel displayed a granite chin while cutting Charlo over his right eye in the process. Seemingly, Montiel had good moments in the second half of the fight, so much so that David Benavidez took to social media to taunt Charlo a bit, saying, "I'll stop, dude, I promise." And he tagged Jermall Charlo. Now, with this kind of performance, Ak, did Charlo's stock rise or fall a little?
It depends on who you ask, Barack. If you ask me, I would say it rose. I wouldn't say it fell. Listen, every fight is not going to have the same outcome, even if you're a great fighter. So his opponent on Saturday night was one of those tough, awkward, switch hitter type of fighters. He confused me just watching him. So I can't imagine being in the ring with him. Jermall Charlo was in a fight. It happens to the best of them. He obviously showed he was superior. Montiel was the type of style where he probably make anybody look bad, Barack. He had his moments, he landed his shots, he cut Charlo, so he showed vulnerability, all right? I think that his stock is going up because he's in exciting fights. His last fight was dominant, yet still exciting. this particular performance, in my opinion, was him showing that he can stay in the pocket, take some shots, take risks to give his own shots, because he took shots. And I was up at times in some of the moments in that fight. It was super exciting. So in my opinion, Barack, his stock went up. I like what he did, and kudos to Montiel for having his moments in that fight. He's going to get other fights from this performance, even in losing. He's an exciting fighter as well. We got some good boxing on Saturday.
Absolutely. Here's how I see it. His stock rose because, yes, he's been stopped before by Munguia, second round. That fight was in Mexico. But there's always variables. There's always reasons why things happen. So people expected Charlo to stop Montiel. But this is a Montiel that had 3 months of training, or 3 months camp. This is the best Montiel ever. And that's what's happening. That's what happens when you're fighting the best fight of your life. And that's what Charlo had to deal with. I think that also the way you talk in the post-fight interview is very important. I look at Andy Ruiz, how he had a tough fight with Chris Arreola and they were booing him. There was a way he could have ended that by saying, man, he was a hell of a champion, a hell of a fight. It was a really, really tough fight. And that's what Charlo did. Charlo gave so much respect to Montiel that everybody had to respect him. And I think that was very important. Instead of like clowning this guy and saying, oh, you know, it was easy work like some fighters do, and then you get booed, especially when you know it was just a war. So he gave him credit where credit was deserved. He even put the medal around his neck, and I think that was just a champion way to end the fight.
The earliest main event on Saturday took place right here on Dazn, where Jaime Munguia showed out against Camille Cerameta, an offensive onslaught by Munguia, which resulted in Cerameta retiring on his stool before the start of the 7th round. Barack, Munguia has had his fights where people felt like, this guy might get hit a little too much. Oh, his defense isn't there. He can't compete with those big names. He showed improvement on Saturday night. He did what he wanted to. It was virtually, offensive practice type of performance. Is he ready to compete with the Boo Boo Andres, the Triple Gs of the world, the Jermall Charlos of the world after that performance?
I can't say that we can say that after this performance, because understand that he was supposed to fight Sulecki and then Demetrius Ballard, and then 2 weeks before this fight, he got switched to Cerameta, so he didn't have a full camp. Cerameta, he put up a good performance. So in reality, Munguia did what he was supposed to do. It was great preparation to build up for a Triple G fight, or maybe an Andrade fight, but I can't say because of that performance, he looks ready for any of those guys.
Yeah, I agree with you. I did see little details, little nuances that look better in my opinion, like the way he was using his jab. He tried to move his head a little bit more than he normally does. I think he's kind of stuck in his ways. Don't get me wrong, people. He did get hit in this fight. He got hit less than he normally gets hit. At least, I'm not counting CompuBox or anything like that, Barack. I'm talking about the eyeball test. He just looked better in the ring. And I know Cerameta didn't have a full training camp. I know that's an excuse that people are going to say. He was still a fighter in there throwing punches. And I thought Munguia looked a lot better. No, I'm not going to say that this was a groundbreaking performance, but at what point? He's already champion at 154. He's campaigning and winning at 160. People know who he is. He has a country behind him. Mexico is there. Make these fights happen. Let's see a Munguia versus Demetrius and Boo Boo Andrade. Or if we can't make Triple G and Charlo, let's see a Munguia and Triple G. The fights need to be made. I think he's maybe not ready to beat those guys, but yes, he's ready to fight those guys.
Absolutely, definitely ready to get in the ring with those guys. I think that he'll be a different fighter against Triple G because it'll be harder punches. He didn't really have respect for Cerameta's punches, and that's probably why he didn't move his head that much.